One Punch! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the One Punch Show recap show. I'm Rob Duaneus, Graphic Artist Esquire, and if you're joining in for the very first time, you should know this is the last show, sucker. Why'd you wait so long? Every week we have, more or less every week, been taking an in-depth look at the entire first season of the One Punch Man anime series. We're going to wrap it up with the final 3 episodes because it was a major 3-part episode. One long battle scene. I just did not want to break it up into 3 small pieces. I felt that would be ridiculous. Joining me to talk about this mega ultra One Punch ending season finale is Lead Heavy Brandon James. Say hi.
Hi.
Also joining me from gangfeather.com, Ashley West. Say hi.
Hey.
Hey, One Punch, everybody, right? Okay.
One Punch.
Gee, Brandon, I'm so glad you drank your caffeine, your sweet tea before we started. Okay, so basically the overall flow of the story was a giant alien ship appears. There's sort of preparations. Well, okay, basically there's preparations for something's going to happen. A giant alien ship appears. Everyone has to fight the giant aliens. And then there's this big battle, giant showdown between Saitama and the final alien boss. And then we get this cool, like, epilogue, like half-show-long epilogue, which I really like. It sort of wraps up some of the themes and leaves off some possibilities for the future. That being said, why don't we kick it off? Ashley, you got something you got any highlights you want to talk about?
Nah, Brandon, go first.
Okay, Brandon, how about you?
All right, let's start with episode 10. I really like in the beginning you have, basically I called it Godzilla 2000 from kind of the Matthew Broderick looking movie versus, I call the chick Sassy Pants. I don't know her name. She's got the green hair, the Black Witch outfit.
Tornado or something.
Yeah, I call her Sassy Pants because she's always pissed off.
She is.
I like that whole beginning where you got like the Godzilla looking like character versus her, and you see that she's actually quite a badass, even though she's kind of whiny and bratty. I like her, and I like the whole beginning of it. So that I thought was a good start for episode 10, just to show other characters besides our main 2 kicking ass in their power range.
Yeah. I'd like to add to that, Tornado / Sassy Pants. It's funny because, like, Saitama, like, I got the feeling that she was not a kid, and she's not. She even says later that she's not. But Saitama, everyone seems to think that she's like this little kid because she's tiny and she has a Thai voice, and she's just probably waif, all around, even though she's really powerful. But I just thought that really was confusing because I was like, oh, it's a woman, and then I was like, oh, it's a child, it's a kid, like, really? And then so I was like confused by it, and I mean, I don't know, I was like, either they're just drawing this lady like really childlike, or the opposite, they're drawing this child like very ladylike. But I mean, anyway, do you guys have anything to add to that? I mean, just like, is she?
They're drawing a child ladylike.
Yeah,
she's basically 16, getting ready to turn into a woman. But she's still kind of a girl, yeah.
Are you sure? Because she says she's older than Genos. Like in episode 12, Genos says, like, you're such a brat, and
Brandon, go to the wiki.
She goes, that's unforgivable. I'm older than you, and he's 19. So I was like, is she like 21, 20? Like,
See, Brandon will check the wiki.
See, this debate. It's just a mystery to me.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, because I mean, she's no. I mean, really, it's not like they pick on the little boy with the lollipop and the spider legs the same way, but they do sort of treat her like. I think they treat her like the little kid girl because she's so powerful. Like, that's kind of like a coping mechanism, and she's weird because she's the only one that I can see who has like ESP ability. Like, they all seem to have a human-based or technology-based superpower, right? Like, really good at cutting. Yeah. She's the only one that I've seen, other than, in a way, Saitama, or in this case, the aliens, that seems to have a extra paranormal ability. Like, she's like a mutant.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take a quick guess, Ashley?
She's... Oh, man. I was just say she's 22.
She is 28.
28.
Okay,
she is a petite woman, commonly mistaken for being much younger than she really is. She has a youthful face with wide emerald green eyes, and she is 28.
You
I
got me.
understand where she's coming. I relate to this character. I understand because people think I'm 15 and I'm 24. I
Why
get the
aren't you in
same
high
thing.
school, right? Where are you?
Exactly. No, and I get that. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing out of school?" I'm like,
I graduated. That's what I did.
yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts. That's all
Oh,
I gotta
yeah, no,
say.
I do enjoy it.
You get to a
Understand.
point where it's like, oh, bro, you're
I
old.
understand her. I don't understand where she comes from and she's like, "Don't talk to me like that." Like I'm smarter than you. Like I get that. So it's funny. I just relate to her. So,
I like moving a little past that. I like how they're all meeting up. It's like, hey, this crazy world-ending trouble's coming, and then bam, it's here. It's like it could be here any moment. We got so much time, and then it's like, oh shit, never mind, it's here.
Yeah, it
Like
just
there
arrived.
was no time for any kind of like warning build up. There's like, oh, it's gonna come, and then oh fuck, it's here. It's outside.
I think Saitama was the first one to really even mention that. He's like, well, that could have happened at any given time, and
Right.
then it
Stating
just
the
happened to
obvious.
happen. I think, yeah, but that's funny. I mean, this show's still a comedy, like the irony is that it did occur right then and there. Unfortunately, when they were all together, I mean, when you look at it, like it's like anything else. Like they always say, plot is nothing. Like when writers try to overplot something, like I don't know, Batman v Superman. Like when you're really trying to connect all these dots and get everything to line up and get it to just right, it's irrelevant. It's what the characters do that are really important, like how they react to a situation and how you know you traverse that scenario with them. That scene. Case in point, like when the aliens first arrive, what I like is the what's the night guy? He's that little squire. He shows up to
Uh,
battle the first main there's this giant. They all got weird names. So there's this giant alien guardian dude that comes down. When they cut him up, he splits into multiple pieces and reforms. It's kind of like a fucked up version of Clayface,
yeah.
and right, like he just keeps
he
regenerating.
is.
Yeah,
It's like,
he's Clayface with like multiple eyes and fangs. And so this guy's taking him on, and he loses like an arm, spoilers, right? But he loses his arm, and he gets fucked up, so and he really feels that pain because you kind of go
oh,
through that scenario with him when the other guys show up. If those other guys showed up first, you'd be like, oh, they got it. But because you saw that guy whoop some ass, you're like, oh, I know they're up for a challenge,
yeah. Although that guy is doing pretty well for having lost an arm. Like at first, I didn't even know. Like I'm like he did like they hide it kind of well, and he's just like, guys, come on, like you have to. And he's just like very like I don't know. He's still like trying to cheer them on, and I don't know. He's handling it very well. Let's put it that way.
He's handling it very well.
I get it.
Oh
See what you did there?
no. Okay, sorry.
All right, Brandon, what else we got in
Okay.
episode 10?
Episode 10. I just to go back to when they're doing their roll call at the table. Some of these fucking heroes. One was called Pig God, and he's just sitting there eating, and I'm like, what? They don't even go into his powers or anything. Pig God. I mean, okay, is he a god of pigs? He just overeats. Like, what's his fucking powers? And then you have Zombie Man, and I'm
Well,
like,
hold on. I
okay,
want to talk about Pigman. He's like the
okay,
Porkins of One
yeah,
Punch Man, right? Like you're watching Star Wars, everyone looks cool or scruffy or young. You got some old guys, but they look pretty hardened. And then you get in the middle of the X-wing battle, you get Porkins. And not only is he fat, his name is Porkins, man. Like I mean, you're just like, even when I was a kid, I was like, ha 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 ha. It's fucked up, but and then they kill Porkins. So yeah, Fat God. I mean.
Pig God.
Pig God, sorry, but
Yeah,
same difference, bro. I mean,
right.
like so. I mean, fat guy probably would have been just mean, but the pig God's pretty bad. He disappears though. I was hoping pig God, like maybe I don't know, maybe he's like the Blob, right? Like he devours guys, or they just sucks them in, or something. Maybe he spits out bones. Like I don't know, he could be pretty disgusting or creepy. But
Right, but and then you got Zombie Man, uh, and I'm like, does he eat people? Is he an actual zombie? They don't say what
Maybe
he
he's like a
does.
voodoo guy, even though he didn't really look voodoo.
Right. I mean, I just don't
my
know where.
favorite, my favorite was at Watchdog. Man or Watchdog? It's the
Yes.
guy he's sitting there, and I was hoping. This is my only complaint, guys. First of all, I love the finale to this series, first season. I was just hoping that Watchdog was gonna fucking show up. That's my only. Like, he never shows up. So, I'm certain. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know, folks. I don't look into it, but I gotta think that Watchdog. That's what I'm gonna call him right now. I can't remember that was his name. But if Watchdog, like if that guy, he has to appear in the manga, right? Doing things. I
Right.
don't know, because I just like that he's like the number one rated guy in his city. And I guess him and Pig God took off. And Zombie dude, I don't know about the zombie guy. Yeah, there was a lot of crazy guys at the table. We missing anyone else like that was there that didn't fight?
That didn't fight. There. I don't think so. I mean, I think the rest actually fought, but
Yeah, yeah.
um,
The badass guy and two I don't knows took off.
my favorite guy of the whole thing is Atomic Samurai.
Shocking.
I love samurais. Yeah, I get it.
Brandon
Shock.
wishes he was a samurai.
Oh, I do. Oh, I wish, but I would. Yeah.
You should
I
go to
did-
con and always have that thistle sticking out your mouth. Like
No
whenever
one
you
will
talk
get
to
it.
people.
They'll just be like, "What's that fat guy eating?" I just felt some wheat. Out of
Nice
the field."
cud, fat god. Like, that's not even my name. Like,
Right?
I'm Atomic Samurai.
Yeah. Anyways, he's my favorite. He's badass, of course. I thought the clay monster, that's what I call it, is creepy as shit. It reminded me of something off like Full Metal, Alchemist. Just kind of those gods.
The
Like,
homunculi.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
so-
homuncula.
yeah, there you go. That's what it kind of reminded me of. That whole like, oh, I can't do the voice impression, but you know what I mean. That
Try. That'd be funny. Try
you want me to
that.
try? Okay. Yeah, can't do it. No, no.
I like how his head turns into a Castlevania villain. Like, it grows little bat wings. I was like, it's Castlevania. Like
Oh,
all
I
his
thought that
atta-
was really, weird. I mean, cool, I guess, but
I liked it. I mean, it was different. I was
I
hoping.
was glad that guy killed it, though. I was like, yes, thank you. Like,
I wanted a whip to kill it. Like, I was hoping.
Which one's Whip? Wait, you say Whip?
Well, Castlevania. You know what I'm talking. You know what
Oh.
Castlevania is?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Castlevania. It's all going over my head, so I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, if you weren't 15, you would know. No, it's an older game. It's a Nintendo game. It's like it's all about monsters, and the lead hero has got a whip. So there's all these bats and shit flying around. It's very Castlevania-esque. Yeah, but that guy was also like, I like how his head, when it gets slit in half, it'll fly around. Like, just the top half of it will just fly around and talk. Like, woo, like a drone. And it's got like a clean, like, it doesn't even have anything. It's just this top head with two eyes flying around. I'll tell you what I also really like a lot. I love all the creepy little shitty minions in the alien ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the henchmen that are like, I think like 6 eyes. They all look like Toe Jam and Earl, and they
No.
got spots.
The one with the spots, the fat one, he's just like, I want to go home. Like, he keeps saying it, Mama, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
We didn't sign up for it. The other one's like, the one with the beak he's all hungry. He's like, I want to eat some food. All right, so
Moving to episode 11.
so
which is
episode 10 was just this big setup
Yeah.
for episode 11, and I've tried it a couple different ways. The end of episode 11 links right into the beginning of 12. Like, it really is one long episode. The only difference being the beginning of episode 12, the drawings of Saitama become more actiony, and at the end of 11, I love the drawings of him. They're very cartoony. Doesn't even strike a pose. It's almost like the Far Side, like Gary Larson, all that cross hatching. But yeah, this is one long ass episode. So.
Yeah, I like the beginning of number 11 where he Saitama gets on the ship and the doors are locked and he just knocks on it like, hey, you got a visitor out here. Can you just let me in? Like, expecting the bad guys to be like, yeah, sure, come on, come fucking right in. Go ahead, why not? He's so chill about it. And then he just rips the fucking door off and he's like, oh shit, my bad. Like, but he doesn't even, it's nothing to him. He's just like, hey, can I come in? I broke your door. Fuck it. So I like how chill he can be to the point where it's just like he's zoned out. He just doesn't care. And And then he gets in that room and you got debris. That
Well,
dude
hold
that
on one second. So before he gets to the room, right? Like it's that scene that Ashley you mentioned. I love where he doesn't know to go right or left, and the villain, the guy who has to run the ship is trying to talk Saitama out of being in the ship. Like he doesn't even want to fight this dude. So he's like, "Oh, you want to get out the ship?" And Saitama's like, "Yeah, I want to get out of here." And he's like, "Go right." And Saitama's like, "Oh, I'll go left." And
Yep.
the look, he almost turns like an evil Pac-Man.
It's awesome.
He's like super angular. He's just got this
He's
evil
like,
grin.
no, I'll go left. Or wait, yeah, left.
And then the guy's like, no, 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 no.
He's like freaking out. And it's so funny because he's actually really powerful, but he just doesn't want to fight, I guess. Even though he's no match, but no one's no match for freaking Saitama. But I feel like if that were anybody else, they probably would have killed him, you know? The Mr. G. I call him Mr. G. I can't say his name.
Yeah, he has psi powers too.
Yeah, psychic. Yeah.
Yeah. Saitama calls him an octopus.
Yeah. Which
So-
he is.
Right. So Saitama rips off most of the wall and the door. It's like the whole thing. And then goes into the control room and then meets the octopus. And everyone else is hiding. The octopus decides to throw up some psychic powers, and it didn't do much.
I mean, he does look kind of badass for a second. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna kill you," and then he's like, "No, not really." You know, but he did. I was like, "Oh, you know, he might be a threat just for a tiny bit, but no, not really."
I like how Saitama boils down everything that guy does down to one thing. It's like all you do is just throw this rock around. Like it's not even.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty funny. You're like, yeah,
You think, well, I guess that really isn't that impressive. I mean, he does a lot with it, so there's that.
right. And Saitama's just like, hey man, there's debris everywhere. You're just getting this shit everywhere. Like, knock it off. He's not even like, it not even hurt him. He's just like, hey man, this is annoying. I'm gonna get like sand and shit or rocks in my uniform here. This isn't cool. Another thing that I noticed watching these is the cutscene title cards. You know, when it's like one punch and it shows the art, it reminded me a lot of like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns art. I don't know if either of you guys noticed that, but it has that whole negative space, real big blocky shapes with the characters, and I really liked it. I mean,
You're talking about when he drew Stoopman as a silhouette, basically, like
right, things like that. Yeah, the silhouettes that they would use with the colors and stuff. So it's like the yellow background, then you got the silhouette of Saitama or Atomic Samurai or whatever, just the cutouts. And I really like that. I think it's just those are cool instead of maybe just like full on details. So little things that I liked. Just sharing it with everybody here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, that's kind of like the golden stuff of this anime is that the art styles change, you know, several times. So I mean, it is good to take notice of that.
And so then we move on to the final boss, right? Mm-hmm. The final boss battle, Boros. Am I right?
Yeah, Boros.
Right, Boros. And so basically, Boros is like, I mean, he's essentially every Akira Toriyama Dragon Ball Z. He's got the giant eye, the pointy face, the little mouth, the big hair. He's got several different forms he transforms into. He charges up his power. It's like it's like they managed to boil all the greatest Dragon Ball Z fights into one battle. You know?
Right. All I could think about when I looked at him was he reminded me of Leela off of Futurama. And I know
Really?
because the one
the
eye?
one eye,
Yeah.
the hair, the everything. I was like, hey, you know, he's an alien. Maybe he came from the Futurama world. That's all I could think of. It's stupid, but the one eye
could
made me
be.
think of it.
Although,
Really, you know, it's not, but I liked it. And I like another thing. No matter how big and buff these villains get, like Saitama just remains this skinny, simple shape. Like the more powered up these bad guys get, they get monstrous. You know, like all the bad guys throughout the show get huge, but he just stays the same skinny little dude. And I like that. I like that it stays consistent throughout the whole series, and they don't make him like super big and buff.
yeah.
You had a question about Boros, Ashley?
Did I? Which one are you referring
Is
to? 'Cause
Boros
there was, like,
the only thing with enough?
Yeah, okay, so is Boros like the only one who really senses that Saitama is like the best hero of all? Because he really does. Like, he can sense it. Whereas everyone else is like, you suck. Like, what? You're a fraud. You know, like, and I guess it's because Boros is kind of, he's like, he's got like special senses. And obviously, he's kind of like almost all powerful. So it's like, I guess he can sense that right away. And that's what drew him to this planet. I mean, but again, he's the only one that can see that. So it's like him and Saitama have this connection because
He
they're both, all powerful. Like well, they're like matches. They're in a match for each other.
my
Except
take on it. My take on it is he is the Dragon Ball Z version of Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. Like, like he's trying to find his nemesis. You know, he's scoured the galaxy, causing havoc until the thing he's looking for will appear. The one who will challenge him and make his sense in the
yeah.
world, seem right. The
So
universe.
so he wasn't drawn to. He was just so happened that this time he came upon the right, planet that
Yeah,
had the
well,
right
I mean,
person.
here's the thing, right? Like, I know in stories where all the time we're like, well, that how would that appear if this didn't appear? But in reality, you look at your own life. How many times do things just randomly happen because you happen to be right there?
Right.
Like, so this guy he even said it, he's been scouring the universe, wrecking worlds, trying. We've gone
Yeah,
everywhere trying to.
yeah. I
So
remember.
this time he found the thing he was looking for. It's just he got lucky, right? I mean, and lucky in that he probably murdered 1,000 other worlds to find it, but
Yeah.
Right.
like, but once at first you don't
He's
succeed, murder,
very
murder again.
yes. He's very persistent,
Determined.
patient.
Yeah,
Yes, determined.
yeah. They call me Mr. Glass, so
Perseverance is key.
I'll say something about that fight. Like, that's a fight where you like at first because Saitama doesn't say anything the whole fight. It's just Boros talking and talking and monologuing and monologuing. You almost wonder is Saitama's probably is he like getting the shit kicked out of him? Like is he like you almost wonder um until like my favorite part is when he ends up on the moon. Like he
Yeah.
gets punched, right, with the meteor punch or whatever. And then he looks around and he's on the moon, and then he like stops, and then he has to plug his nose. Like I guess he realizes
Which
he's in a
is
vacuum.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering that. I was like, so he's on the moon now. So what's going to happen to it? Because normally wouldn't your skin start to boil or something? And
He's not human,
right, of
So,
course he's
but he does what we all would do if we ended up on the moon. He picks something up and goes, "Wow, it floats." I mean, this
yeah,
is crazy, right? Like isn't it funny how he still has the mind of an average guy? Like, you know.
yes, yes.
And then he jumps off it and wrecks half the moon jumping off it. What I want to know is when they get around to season 2, will the moon be cracked, or will it have like that wreckage in it? Like,
I'm sure they'll have some kind of like satellite footage too that'll blame him for it.
Or like some kind of worldwide, like, now the tides are all messed up. I don't know if
Right.
that's true.
the deep sea kingdom is,
Yeah.
it's all refugees now and they gotta live. So yeah, so he jumps off the moon and then managed to. This is what I like. He just manages to end up in the exact same spot he needed to be. And what's great is that's a hell of a long shot, right? He jumps off the moon and lands right where he left the first time. But Saitama's like, I made it. Like he's like, wow, I actually did it. Like, he's like impressed with himself. It's the first time he's happy the whole fight. Like when he realized he actually landed right at the ship. He didn't land 100 miles away and have to get back. And so then they fight again for like the ultimate Boros is throwing out laser blasts and they cut through the ship and then he obliterates his own people. Like,
Oh, I know. It's
Yeah.
like, well, they're expendable. Um, I also liked going back to like the kind of the beginning of the episode 12 is when it's playing the title theme music, or and he gets smacked like into the ship, except he's going through like the layers of the ship. He got punched so hard, Saitama got punched so hard that he's basically getting smashed through this wall of the ship, then this wall, then this wall, then this wall. And every time he hits a wall and goes through it, it like hits a beat on the song and it's awesome. And I just like how they choreographed that. or animated it.
Yeah, they extended the song by one verse. So right when you think it's going to that one power, but it continues a little bit, and then I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa. But other than that, it was like, it was really flawless. Like that animation sequence. I don't know. I would love to know. I wish they would just make a documentary on how this fucking thing was made. I want to know how many dudes animated that battle. You know, like when Boros goes and charges up, and then it becomes all pencil lines, and it becomes weird neon trippy colors too. On top of all that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then all the ways Saitama flies through the different layers and he's going around stuff, up stuff, down stuff. They become little lines. You just follow them around. You know, all the different layers in the ship, which looks like one of those crazy. You ever see those crazy mazes the autistic children draw? That, like, that's what it
Just
looked
go
like to
on
me.
forever. Yeah.
It's just a million pieces. And so then we get to the Man of Steel moment, right, where Saitama defeats him, and the whole ship fucking, the whole ship takes out the entire city. Um, Yeah, man, that's the Man of Steel moment, right? Like they just fucking obliterate the whole city.
Right.
And a My Mask shows up and he's like, "You guys suck." I like how he shows up. He's like, "So great, you saved what? The rubble? You know, like if everything's destroyed, what'd you save?" And I like how the heroes are telling him like, "Bitch, you didn't even fight." You know, like
Right.
I mean,
Hmm.
It's easy to talk shit from the sidelines.
hmm
But it was cool just to see finally, or at least close to it, a villain who was, I guess, rivaled One Punch Man's power, Saitama's power, but in the end he really didn't.
I
But
don't even think he rivaled.
and
No, because yeah,
I
I mean, he was even saying it. He's like, "You didn't even hold back," or like I was like, gasping for air, and you were just kind of like, like he was like when he was lying on the ground. Boris was lying on the ground dying. He was saying how really he was no match for Saitama.
I just mean somebody more powerful than the gorilla, the armored gorillas and shit. Just something that's at
Well, the
least
Deep
Yeah,
Sea King was super powerful.
yeah, yeah.
But that being said, the only person that challenges Saitama is his dreams. You know what I mean? Like when that
Yeah.
first dream, when he thought he was actually fighting this, he's going to fight this crazy underground mole king
right.
nonsense, and then it turned out to, that's not happen. Um, I mean, I'm curious. I don't want to read the manga. I want to. I mean, when they say there's no more anime, then I'll go back and read the manga to know, how that works out. But it's interesting. Like, I mean, if Saitama fought Galactus, I don't think it would matter, right?
Right.
Like you start thinking, what would it take to beat the dude? Either there's got to be a twin, or he's got to fight himself, or somehow he turns evil, and then Genos and every hero has to fight him. I don't know where they're going with it, but
I want to see him fight Superman.
Superman right now is stuck in a battle with movie scripts. He's got to work his
I
way out of
know.
he's got to work his way out of some mediocre writing. So I would say for what I like is that the season, like I said, the battle ends halfway through the 12th episode. So then you have this cool resolution phase. You get time to deal with the whole Metal Knight just shows up to collect all the technology. So you that set up that he's evil. That one guy tells Drive Knight, tells Genos that Metal Knight is evil. Then Metal Knight he conveniently shows up once the battle's fought, and then a My Mask kills the alien survivors.
Hmm.
Just murders them. He's all about justice. I don't even know what that means. He's kind of like Rorschach if he was an idol pop singer. Like, right? Like even I Mask, Rorschach mask, but maybe his mask that he looks pretty, and inside he's evil and ugly. Um, and then it just leaves off with there's going to be more later. So, any hopes for the future? Any thoughts on the ending or?
I'd like to know more about his past or just him in general. Maybe we learned so much about every other character's past and craziness and story and crazy scientists and all that shit. But I'd like to hear more about Saitama than just I was a guy and I trained hard. I lost my hair. I'm strong. So
I actually
that's what I.
like that. That's it. I like that his origin is uninteresting. I get that he's probably like an alien, or just he might be like a god. He might be a god born, and instead of like one of those things that attacks everybody, he just happened to help. And if that's explained simply, then I'm fine with that too. I would hate if it turned out that he was some chosen thing. You know what I mean? Like that would drive me fucking crazy. I hate that shit. Like you were chosen to save the destiny of no. Like oh man, just I like
Yeah.
that. I would hate that. I would like to see like I like the triangle between Tornado, Genos, and Saitama. Like Saitama eggs Genos to piss her off, so Genos gets beat up and not him.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
do like that too.
like how
And
happy Saitama gets when he's like ah like
do, do you know when the second season's coming?
no. No, I
No.
don't. Sadly, I do not know. So
I
I
hope that they
only
do it.
I follow Anite and Anime Nation, and I haven't read any announcements on that. I mean, it's got to be coming because it was super successful over there. So, but I
Yeah.
have not heard anything. So, um, I would like to see more with the balls chin guy. To see what happened to him. Moomin Rider saved the day, right? Moomin Rider and his C-class heroes did the yeoman's work. They got everyone out of town before it blew up. Like that's what I like too. Like before that thing crashes, Moomin Rider and all of his dudes got everyone out, and so that was
That's
cool.
true.
I'd like to see more Moomin Rider and Saitama eating ramen and hot pot. Or I want to see Saitama ride his bicycle again. That would be great. Or maybe Genos hooks up the bicycle so it has like rockets and shit. Like it converts and transforms and turns into shit. Um, I just I have to say, man, like in the last few years, I mean, my favorite of all time is still Full Metal Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But in the last few years, there's been a lot of great anime. I mean, between Gurren Lagann, which you haven't even seen yet, Brandon. Trust me, it's
Nope.
awesome. Um, Attack on Titan, Kill La Kill. This is right up there. You know, it's right up there. So I'd have to say, on a whole, I give the series, I mean, 5 out of 5 stars. Like 5 out of 5 one punches, 5 punches. I give it 5 punches. Oh, why didn't I come up with that fucking 12 episodes ago?
I thought we did.
No, we didn't give a 5 punch review. Damn it. Damn, that's good. See, I'm always like, I relate to this show and all of its quirkiness. Like, I give it 5 punches. Brandon,
I give it a 4 out of 5. 4 point. I give it a 4.5 out of 5.
half punch.
Yeah, it's like like you're going to punch and then you stop, and then you give them a little. I don't know. Fuck. Four
You
punches
give
out
a
of 5.
little. You give a love tap.
4 out of 5. Okay.
All right,
It
bro.
does. It doesn't. It doesn't have as much as I like in maybe like Full Metal, which I would give a 5 out of 5, where there's nothing,
64 episodes, though, Brandon.
or maybe Attack on Titan, which I would give it a 5 out of 5. Um, a 4 out of 5. I like it, but I'd like to see more about Saitama. That bugs me.
That's fair. Ashley,
Now we're talking about
the whole
the
series.
whole show,
Yeah, the whole series.
the whole season. I give it. I give it a 4 punches out of 5.
Fair enough. What do you want to see more of specifically? That
I want to see more. I want to see more like
pig god.
what? Pick no, no. I want to. I don't know. I want to
Bulges?
see
You want
like
some
okay,
bulges? There
More
we
remember?
go.
bulges.
Okay, no, no.
This episode,
Whatever
these three.
episode 1 and episode 3 had, I want more of that. Like episode 3 with the rhino beetle guy was awesome.
Well, that comes back to like my belief too that like the best parts of Batman are not when he's fighting aliens. It's when he's fighting like low-level crime dudes. So like in episode 3, it almost felt like there was a mystery with the scientists and then all his henchmen coming after him. So yeah, I'd like to see a supervillain that uses his brain to defeat Saitama or cause him trouble. You know?
Yeah, that would be
So you're
interesting.
so
Made
you're
him
saying
hallucinate.
you would
Although I don't know
like
if they-
you would like a smart, brainy kind of scientist villain to fight this super like man.
who
So-
perhaps could maybe make a Dooms like Doomy
Well,
one
like,
day.
What if somebody like trapped Saitama in a warehouse and they're like put I don't know what they did. But then I don't know. Every time I come up with something like what if they like shot him with a tranquilizer, but then the tranquilizer wouldn't work because he's super powerful. But what if they did? What if they shot him with a tranquilizer and they put this headset on him like the Matrix and they put him in the Matrix and they're like, now what are you gonna do? And he's like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, he doesn't have any power. So what if they beat him by virtual reality?
What if they just distract him with manga? Because apparently he has an unhealthy manga collection
And
in
that
his
too.
apartment.
or just hot chicks.
I think
Yeah,
Metal Knight's
see,
that villain that we're looking for. If you
I
want my,
thought I think that would be cool too if there was a hot chick that did distract him because everybody that he sees like there's like nothing that he can like nothing really phases him.
a hot
It's
chick that isn't a bee woman, like
yeah.
it
Right.
would have to be like I hate to say this, but I'm pretty certain. Sadly, his taste in women probably revolves around like schoolgirl outfits or bikinis.
Probably.
Judging by if you look at that manga on a shelf, like if you freeze frame it, you can kind of see some of the silhouettes. So like maybe if there's like the schoolgirl outfit chick from Kill Bill, the crazy psycho Japanese chick, maybe some
Or
go
that
go.
Britney Spears song. What was
I
it?
do not
The
know. Brandon, can you tell me?
Uh, Go-Go? You talking about Go-Go from Kill Bill?
No, the what she was saying.
what is it?
Oops, I did it again.
Oops. Yeah, I guess
I
so.
knew Brandon knew it. How's it go, Brandon?
I don't want to sing, and then you get a DC, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, D's. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna no computer's
Oh
gonna
God.
mistake you for Britney Spears.
That's right.
Nice cop out, Brandon.
Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of does a parody.
Yeah, kinda. Um, but yeah, maybe like an idol singer chick, or maybe oh no, he's not into dudes, so my mask wouldn't work. Yeah.
Ew, I would hope not. My God, that'd be creepy.
So
So on that note, we all three are looking forward to season 2, correct?
Rise of the Bulges.
Right.
Season two.
Yes.
Bulges.
What? Say how I worked that in.
More baldness, more bulges.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of not just men but monsters too. Like
Monster bulges, like.
there was some. Well, no, there weren't. Actually, there were none. They were all
Well, I think
covered
what's
up.
his face, the angel dude, um,
Primmy.
the
Prairie prisoner or
yeah,
whatever.
Purry. He's naked the whole time, right?
Yeah. Now
They
he
just-
kind of. You were saying that everyone doesn't really have superpowers. They're just kind of like I'm really like I don't know.
Strong.
Yeah, I'm really good with a spear or whatever. Whereas he's just like I sprouted angel wings. Like
Yeah, but
Or they could be in his mind.
they're in his
it
mind.
could be. It could be.
Yeah, he's just pulling his arms out, and that's how he sees himself.
I guess so. And I was wondering that too, but I was like, I'm not gonna think about it too hard.
All right, everybody. We will return with recap. One Punch recap when it returns. When One Punch returns, One Punch recap shall return. In the meantime, Brandon, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that at Lead Heavy. That's LEAD Heavy.
And he looks just like that. See that photo right there? That's what
I
he
am
looks
one
like.
sassy chick.
Yes. Want some sweet tea?
I'm the top image. I'm the one in the white shirt.
Oh, right. right. Ashley, where can people disturb you on the internet?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and I'm Gang Feather.
Excellent. As always, folks, I'm here all the time, sketchcraft.com. Subscribe to the channel. Say hi on Twitter at Sketchcraft or Instagram. We're on Instagram. Always there posting pics on Instagram, Sketchcraft. Don't forget the One Punch recap show has been recorded for a live internet audience. That's you out there. And fully supported by viewers like you. Really, please leave comments or share the videos. Tell your friends. There's tons of stuff to pass around. As always, we will see you again on the next One Punch recap show whenever that returns. See you then, folks.
One Punch! You're a dick.
One Punch.